morning, wrestling fans. Today is Sunday, October 29th, 2023. Hello everyone, welcome to Sunday's episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Hope everyone is having an amazing Sunday morning so far, wherever you are in the world. New episode available now of 360 Wrestling Fanatic right here on Spreaker or wherever else you listen to 360 Wrestling Podcast at. And on that episode from last night, episode 527, talked about last night's episode of AEW Saturday Collision, which was a pretty good episode of Collision, I have to admit, which I know I say that every week, but it's because I honestly believe that so far there, just like Dynamite, there has not been a bad episode of Collision yet. And like I said, I say the same thing about Dynamite every Wednesday, that so far in the show's history have not seen a bad episode just yet. Don't want to jinx it, of course, but that episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic is available now. Something else took place last night that I did not talk about because I didn't watch it last night. I watched it this morning, and that was the NWA pay-per-view. Samhain, however you say that, I apologize. And very good show, I thought. I mean, the National Wrestling Alliance, I don't know if I would say they're struggling, but they're not really one of the more well-known promotions that are out there in the world of pro wrestling today. I'd say if anyone follows the NWA, it's probably because they are die-hard pro wrestling fanatic, probably just like the listeners, like all of us here at 360 Wrestling Podcast. And I'm just not going to go over the whole card here, but just go over a little bit. Samantha Starr defeated Celeste, Missa Kate, and Tiffany Neves in a four-way match to become the number one contender for the NWA Women's Championship. Also, I almost forgot to mention that the Sinister Minister, Father James Mitchell, was the host of the night. Also, we have the Immortals, J.R. Kratos and Odyssean, defeating Daisy Kill and Talos for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. And we have Rush Freeman defeating Brady Pierce. Colby Corino, the son of old school Steve Corino, defeated Joe Alonzo to retain the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship of the world. We have the Southern Six, Alex Taylor, Kerry Morton, and Ricky Morton, the legend himself, defeating the I apologize. It was Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor in the tag, and they defeated the Headbangers in a rock and roll tag team match. Jax Dane defeated Blake Troop, and Pretty Empowered Ella Envy and Kylie Page defeated Natalia Markova and Taylor Rising for the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championships. That actually was a very entertaining match. A couple weeks or so ago, actually, Pretty Empowered did a Sign It Live with High Spots. Unfortunately, I did not get anything from that signing. I kind of regret that now, to be honest. Probably should have. Thrill Billy Silas Sampson retained the NWA National Heavyweight Championship in a Burning Lake brawl over Chris Adonis, and Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse and the Brothers of Funstruction defeated Vampiro and the Rebellion in a Riddle Box 6-man tag team match, which I would not say I am the biggest ICP fan in the whole world, but I'm pretty sure Riddlebox is a name of an ICP album. Like I said, not really the biggest ICP fan in the world. Have definitely listened to some of their music in the past, but definitely not their number one fan. Much respect for them though, and big fan of what they have done in pro wrestling, whether it was WCW, WWF, or TNA, or their own promotion, JCW, which I'm going to, again, just like their music, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of JCW, but I have enjoyed most of the stuff I've watched. I think some of the stuff, now I don't mind comedy in wrestling, but sometimes I think it can be taken too far. And sometimes with like JCW and their Stranglemania, is it? I think the commentary makes too much of a joke about what's going on, and they take it a little too far. Kenzie Page defeated Ruthie J for the NWA Women's Championship. And we have Blunt Force Trauma with Aaron Stevens defeating Knox and Trevor Murdoch in Knights of the Round Tables match for the NWA World Tag Team Championships. And in the main event, it was EC3 defeating Tom Vladimir for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the prestigious NWA World Championship. So EC3 once again the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Big fan of EC3. Ethan Carter III. I know he doesn't go by that anymore, but the character did start off in TNA as Dixie Carter's nephew. I'm sure most people know that, and sometimes I still have a habit of, even though it's longer, referring him as Ethan Carter III. But EC3, great worker. It's too bad WWE didn't really, I don't know why they didn't use him. I mean, they did in NXT for a while, but main roster definitely didn't work out. And the NWA, very good show last night. And it's been announced, I talked about on the podcast, that Power is going to be on the CW next year, I believe, in 2024. And they announced the Our Time pay-per-view for January 2024. But back to the TV deal, I hope this really helps NWA, because I want them to succeed just like I want every pro wrestling promotion in the world to succeed. no matter what company, what state, what country. And because I believe that's what pro wrestling fans should want. The way I see things, if you're going to watch pro wrestling, be a fan, you shouldn't watch just one company. You should watch all pro wrestling, every single kind of pro wrestling there is, whether it's Lucha Libre, Perez, all pro wrestling. You should just watch everything. That's the way I am. And the NWA, it definitely is not where it was in its heyday, the 80s, or even before then as well, when it was at its most prestigious. And there was times where it was kind of not dead, but definitely when it was well known. And then kind of came back 2002 with TNA on the NWA TNA weekly pay-per-views. And then TNA eventually did separate from the NWA. And then it's kind of been very, again, I wouldn't say dead, but definitely not dead alive. Until recently, Billy Corgan bought it a few years or so ago. And then started Power, and now it's kind of getting up there. And with this new CW deal, I hope it works out for Billy Corgan and NWA. Also, I remember one time I really got to pay attention to the NWA. I heard about it at this time, 2001, the NWA 53rd anniversary show. And the one thing I heard about this show was this great 5-star match that took place between the phenomenal AJ Styles and the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. Actually, I don't even know if AJ Styles was using the phenomenal nickname yet at the time, but it was AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. Heard this was a great match. Had to check it out right when I saw it. I didn't see it right away, but I did eventually see it. And right now, 2023, if you want to watch it, I'm pretty sure it is on YouTube, as long as it hasn't been removed or anything due to copyright, stuff like that. With YouTube these days, you never know. But I remember one time I actually did see a VHS copy. This was a long time ago, but I did see a VHS copy of this show online. I think about $300 or more. No joke. Yep, the VHS copy of the NWA 53rd anniversary show. I want to say it was about $300 or more. And definitely no disrespect to anyone else who was on that show that night. But I think the main reason was definitely that AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels match. And I definitely recommend, like I said, check YouTube, see if it's still up there. NWA 53rd anniversary, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, just search for that. You should be able to find it. Great match. You definitely won't regret it. And that is all for this episode of 360. Good morning, wrestling fans. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Hope you have had a great Sunday morning. Remember, the newest episode of 360 Anything Goes is now available. Episode 12, the Halloween special. So if you can, please go listen to that. And it's Sunday. Probably won't be back with 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight, but tomorrow we'll probably have a new episode. Talk about tomorrow night's WWE Monday Night Raw. And we'll be back first, though, tomorrow morning for the Monday episode of Good Morning Wrestling Fans. So hope all of you will be here with me tomorrow morning for GMWF. But until tomorrow morning, till we are together again, have a great pro wrestling day.